But now, so first idea, right? Circumcision is there to remind myself that I could be greater, that I have possibility, that I have, potential. Now, if you take this to a greater degree, then you're going to understand something amazing, right? If you think about God, you would think that God is purely spiritual. God is the definition of what spiritual means, right? Now, if you think about that, what would be the opposite of spirituality? Obviously, it would be what? Physicality, yes? Now, if you think about this, what is something that is very physical in yourself? This is your body, right? What's the most physical part of your physical body? Obviously, your reproductive system, right? Specifically, men's thingy. This is where they feel the most pleasure, right? Is this true? Okay. So now, that's where you're choosing. Now, how could it be? By the way, you ever saw men wearing tefillin? They put it on their skin. Now, if you get this, you see, Hasidic people, they shave all of their hair. You know this? Why do they shave? Because they don't want to have any interruption between the tefillin and their skin. This is the main reason. I mean, it's not like you have to shave. You could also have longer hair, but if you have like hair, this is not going to work out, right? Now, the tefillin has the same kedusha of a Sefer Torah. Whenever you have a Sefer Torah, right, it was written by someone that was holy. He was fasting in order to write a Sefer Torah. He went to a mikveh, right? Is a Sefer Torah holy? Can I just take a Sefer Torah and do whatever I want? If I want, you know how people in Yom Ha'atzmaut, they take the flag of Israel and they just put it on like their backs? Can I take a Sefer Torah and be like, I'm a proud Jew, and I put that Sefer Torah in my back? Can I do this? The tefillin has exactly the same kedusha of a Sefer Torah, and you're putting it on your body? Does that make sense to you? No, you know what it's saying? It's saying something amazing. The tefillin is saying that it's not only that your body could be elevated, but rather it is elevated. Because if you're putting the tefillin on top of your naked body, it's making a statement that your body itself is elevated, that your body itself is holy. This is one of the main ideas in Judaism. Physicality is not the opposite of spirituality. It's a means to get to be spiritual. How does something really become holy? Holy is not being spiritual on heaven. It's really easy to be spiritual if I'm sitting on heaven. Holy is, I'm physical, I'm a body, right? But I have understanding of potential. That's what holy is. This is a concept that Judaism brought into the world. It is not that Abraham was the first one to believe in God, and I'll explain this is going to take me some time, right? But rather, Abraham was the first one to bring the idea into the world that physicality could be elevated, that everything has the potential to be holy. Now, what do I mean by that, right? And by the way, that's exactly a circumcision. You do it in the lowest place of your body, because what you're saying it is not lowly. It actually has the potential for the greatest greatness, right? By the way, you know how you know this? Because you know what's made out of that? Life. Is there anything that's more holy or more godly than giving life? Nothing, right? But that's exactly what you're doing. By the way, if you think about this, it sort of doesn't make sense. Because nakedness causes sometimes embarrassment, you know what I'm saying? Right? But that's exactly the same organ. And I mean it also by the women that gives life. You ever thought about this? Amazing, right? Before I tell you what Abraham did, I have to tell you this, okay? But sometimes people come and they're like, oh, what do you like about Torah? What's your favorite mitzvah? All of this stuff. What happens in Mechina stays in Mechina and worldwide. But whatever. Okay? But right? This is also in my Tenio class, so people already heard me, but I'm going to sing it. But the point is, people ask me, what is so special about Judaism? I don't know what, this, that. What's your favorite mitzvah? So in the Torah, what's the holiest mitzvah in the Torah? You should actually know this. The holiest mitzvah is being intimate. The Torah says being intimate is Kodesh HaKodashim, the holy of holies. So whenever I'm teaching this, all of the college girls specifically come to me and they're like, how could that be holy? I'm telling them there's halachot and the intention and the thoughts you put in it make it more holy. You have to think about God. And obviously everyone is you think about God. And I have to tell you, I also did not grow up religious. It is very hard to think that an action like that could be holy. Because people are being physical and they're doing stuff, But this is holy. The Torah says there's a book in the Torah called Shira Shirim, which is the love between a man and a woman, represents the love relationship between God and the Jewish people. The rabbis wanted to censor this book because it is so graphic. And you're like, this is Jewish? This is holiness? Says the Torah, yes, because this is the highest of the highest. So now, why is this so holy? Why is this such a special mitzvah, right? So now, in order to tell you, I have to sing for you a song. In order to sing for you a song, I'm going to tell you a story. We're not judging, okay? Anyways, it's not like whatever. I'm just going to sing a song, but I happen to not have been religious. Okay, the point is, one time I went to safari with my sister. I'm very naive. Now I know everything because I talk to Americans and they teach me too many stuff. But I'm like naive. If I would tell you how naive I am, you'd be like, whatever. I'm telling you now, I know. But I'm not going to say what I know over there. But like, I used to like, when I was getting married, my Kala teacher was teaching me stuff. I was cracking up the whole time. I'm just like cracking up. I'm like, am I really this immature? She's like, no, you're just sensitive and cute. I'm like, I'm cute. Like, I'm really like, you know, like this is something holy, special. I never kissed a guy in my life. Why is this public? Who cares? Okay, the point is, okay. So I went to safari with my sister, okay? Have in mind, I'm very cute and naive, and like I get uncomfortable. You could see this, I'm red, I know this, okay? So like we went to safari in Ramat Gan. It's really cute. You could go with your car, then you park and you walk, okay, next to you, okay? So we went to Ramat Gan there, and suddenly we see that there's like a whole like public looking at the turtles, you know? So I go look at the turtles too, and I'm like, start cracking up because I got already very uncomfortable. I know what you're thinking, okay? So my sister is like, Raquel, you know what they're doing, right? I'm like, they're doing what I think they're doing. This is so weird. Okay, I don't want to be so expressive, but I mean, you've seen Discovery Channel. This was weird. And then God made it. At one time I went somewhere and the giraffes were also Discovery Channel. This is too much for me. Like, I was talking to my husband that time, the second time we saw it, and I'm like, my husband is explaining to me they're mammals. I'm like, I know they're mammals, but I didn't like realize 2 + 2. The point is, when he explained to me whales are mammals too, that's weird. Okay, let's move on. The point is, so I'm watching these turtles, and I'm like so uncomfortable because like it looked really like real, really. And then I started thinking, and I'm gonna show you how you're still uncomfortable, even though you think you're not. I'm gonna say something that's gonna make you so uncomfortable, but not yet, right? So suddenly I remember this song. This was the year that it was like, I'm blue, da-ba-dee, da-ba. Does anyone remember this song? Yeah. Okay, thank God. We're from the same generation, even though I'm a little bit older. But like, so there was this big, big song. I didn't really knew English that much, so I didn't really get what they were saying. But now I'm like American professional speaker with a very cute accent, so this is really cool, works well. So I remember this song, and I was like, this is what the song said? That's so weird. Not only did I remember the song, I remember the video. I'm going to tell you a song in 1 second. It is in the video, all of the singers are dressed up like animals, okay? Actually, the name of their band, it's an animal name, okay? Whatever. And then they had a little dance, but that I am not going to do in the internet because it's too much, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? So they had a little dance. So I'm like in Brazil, sitting with my parents-in-law. At 7 p.m., they're not doing anything, so they watch TV. I don't want to watch TV, whatever. They're changing channels. They're going to MTV. I haven't seen MTV in like 10 years. What video was there? This. I'm telling you, God wanted me to teach you this lesson, okay? This was the song. I'm going to sing for you. You pay attention. It goes like this. Everyone together. You and me, baby, we're nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. And then he had a dance. Don't film this part. It goes, you and me, baby, we're... Okay, you got this? And they were all dressed like dogs. Everyone, you know what's the name of the group? Bloodhound Gang, okay? And I was like, do you hear this song? Listen to his song. You and me, baby, we're nothing but mammals. Do it like they do on the Discovery Channel, like the turtles, okay? Wait, before you left, isn't this what everyone does? Yes, pretty much. Why should you be embarrassed? You're just like a developed monkey, so why should you go to a room? Just like, we behave like that in every single area of our lives. You know, the whole world is like, there's a famous book. I didn't read the book, but I like the title. The title of the book is, Why Doesn't Anyone Blush Anymore? That's our society. No one blushes. It's like everything should be allowed, like freedom of speech. You do whatever you want. Why should you be embarrassed? You know what God says? Amazing. God says, at exactly that time that you're doing what mammals do in Discovery Channel, right? Is there anything you could do that could be more physical than this? No, says the Torah, that time you remind yourself you're holy. You're a human being. You have thoughts. The intentions you have while you're at it changes the outcome. Because you're not just an animal, you're not just feeling a physical desire. You're a human being that is made in the image of God and that could be elevated. That's the circumcision. This is not just physical pleasure. No. Even with this, you could serve God. It's not only even with this you could serve God, this is how you serve God. I don't know if you notice this, but Judaism is the only religion that believes 100% in having all of physical pleasures. Shabbat, the most holy day of the week, you're supposed to eat good food, right? This is why I don't go to vegetarian people for Shabbat, right? You're supposed to, I'm joking, I'm not saying vegetarian is not good, but vegetarian is not my main problem. If you're gluten-free, I'm for sure not eating by you. I need some cookies. Okay, but right? You're supposed to dress well. You could have Pesach cakes. We're all gluten-free on Pesach, so, don't feel bad. Because she was looking at me, I'm like, I just offended a gluten-free. Okay. Right? You're supposed to get married. You're obligated. A man signs in the Ketubah, they're going to give pleasure to their wife. Because Judaism it's easy to be holy if I'm outside of the physical world. That's not holiness. Holiness is how much are you involved, but have the right thoughts, have the right intention, are able to see a potential. And again, the most physical act brings about the most spiritual outcome. There's no action you could ever do in life that makes you more godly than creating life. By the way, and even if a baby didn't come out of it, right? You're thinking about each other. It's all about giving, right? Nowadays, it's all about taking. But in order to have a really good one, it's all about giving. It's all about thinking about someone else. That's godliness, right? The world doesn't believe in all of this stuff. Everyone wants to do whatever they want. By the way, you know how we know it is holy? So this is the part you're going to get annoyed. You know how you know this is really holy? Because do you like to think about your parents? Disgusting. How do you think you came into the world? Through the stork? No. Okay? Why does that make you so uncomfortable? Because we do know it is holy. But because the world makes it look like a little dirty, you don't want to think of your parents in such a way. But by the way, when you grow up from, and I know this because I have tons of friends, they never see it with an issue. It's totally normal. I was one time talking to a 16-year-old. I'm like, oh, do you know how babies are formed? I totally thought she was going to say the stork. She's like, no, a man and a woman. I'm like, you know more than me. How do you know all this stuff? She's like, well, my mother. And I'm like, for real? Why is it so kosher? Because they never gave it a non-kosher view. It was never oh, you're just physical and because that's exactly what Judaism is. It is not a physical action. It is a most spiritual action done in a physical way. Mitzvot are a physical manifestation of the soul. And we're going to talk about this next time because I don't have so much time to it. But they're a physical manifestation of your soul. But what you're doing is something spiritual. Let me just give you one more example of what this means, and then next time we'll talk about Hitler and the whole conscience thing, right? This is in my 10-year-old class, but anyways, I have to say this. When Jewish men used to go to war, by the way, war wasn't I shoot you, you shoot me, we die, and that's it. It used to take a long time, years. They had to take their little carry-on with everything they were going to use for war, okay? And in their carry-on, they had a special mitzvah. They had to take a shovel. Now, if you don't think taking a shovel, it's funny, let me tell you why they had to take a shovel. They had to take a shovel so that if in the middle of war they did number 2, they would take the shovel, take sand, and put it on top of number 2. So now you're for real? You're in the middle of nowhere. No one cares. You're being an animal. War makes you an animal. Have you ever seen Braveheart and all of this stuff? Lord of the Rings. Cuckoo, okay? You have to take a shovel and put it. By the way, it's men. Men don't care. Says God, I care. At specifically the time that you're being the most physical, that you could allow yourself to just be animalistic, right? What is the movie that won the Oscar with Leonardo DiCaprio? Okay, I only saw the preview for this. Creepy. I'm never watching this movie. I died only from the preview. The Remnant. It's creepy. Okay, but at least he got the Oscar. Okay, but at that time, says God, you're a human being. When you do your necessities, it should be done in public. Remember, you're just not an animal. It should be covered up because this is the not good thing that is coming out of you. You should cover it up. You should have shame. You should have dignity, right? And we'll talk about this next time. But the Torah says intellect is shame. Shame is intellect. What is intellect? Understanding who I am. Understanding I'm made in the image of God, right? This is what Hitler did not like. Because, again, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. What day is tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah. But if you think about this, if I have to understand that circumcision is something holy. That means living with an understanding that everything is holy. Living with an understanding that everything has potential. Living with a conscience means I have to think of my actions. Who wants to do that? I just want to party. You understand? And at the end of the day, that is the goal. It's not that people didn't knew there is God. It's not that people didn't believe in God, but at the end of the day, I just want to do whatever I want. And I can't if I have to have conscience. The conscience is a blockage. It doesn't allow me to do whatever I want. This is what he wanted to get rid of. And we'll talk about this tomorrow. Great. Any questions? No caps because I threw it, but yes.
You said like being spiritual isn't about taking yourself out of like being physical, and what would you say after that?
I'm saying being spiritual, it's elevating physicality. But I mean, me being more than that, it's looking at potential. You know, if I never talk, I'm not gonna talk Lashon Hara because I'm just mute. But talking with care, that's a much higher level than not talking. You know, eating with self-control, it's a much higher level than dieting and not eating. You understand? Great. Bye-bye, guys.